Darkest Greetings, horror, sci-fi, and aliens fans. Drew here from Horror, Sci-Fi, and Beyond, and I'm actually about to go see the new Alien movie with my mom, Alien Romulus. And I'm really excited because everything I'm hearing about this movie is saying that it's gonna be like in tone with the original Ridley Scott film, which I'm really excited for because that's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, top 5 for sure. It looks really scary. Emphasizing the face huggers, which I'm not gonna like, because I think they're freaking terrifying. But, and I heard the end of the movie takes a big swing, which is interesting. I'm always looking forward to that when people say stuff like that. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. And then I'll catch you guys back after I sing the movie. I don't know if my mom's gonna be in the review afterwards. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Alright guys, we're back from Alien Romulus, and I got my mom here, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. So, before we actually talk about the movie, we had some thunderstorms going on during the movie, and it stopped right in the middle of like really intense, scary parts.
Two times, yeah.
Yes. And I don't want to get too deep into it. I'll probably film some sort of video tomorrow talking about that experience. But that was a lot of fun, for sure, for our first scary movie, especially. Yeah. And it happened during one chestburster scene, which is really interesting.
It had what?
It happened during one of the turn-offs happened during one of the chestburster scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think about the movie? Getting past that.
Yeah, if I don't think about the fact that it went off twice in really important moments,
right?
It was fantastic. I really liked it. I think it definitely did justice to the Alien movies for sure.
Oh yeah, I think it's the best. I think it's in the top 3 best ones. I think the first one's still my favorite.
Well, because
it
establishes the whole thing.
Oh yeah, but jury's out at where it's gonna sit in my top 3. But yeah, I really liked it. It was so intense, and it really captured, especially in the beginning, like even the first scene, like really captured like the original, and it felt like it was like there was like sauce in the movie that felt like the 70s. Like it was pretty like surreal.
Yeah, it was definitely. And what I really loved about this one is because you know, if you didn't think there were enough surprises in any of the other movies,
right?
This one, like you think
you
know what's going to happen, and you're like, oh, okay, and then you're like, whoa, what is happening?
Yes.
More surprises than I could have imagined.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I thought the action scenes were really cool.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I think honestly, I know this is blasphemous because I know a lot of people love Aliens. I thought the action scenes were way better here than Aliens. Honestly.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, there was some intense shit here, for sure. I thought the characters were pretty cool too. I really liked them.
Yeah, and I like that, you know, they stayed true to the badass female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it Austin? That girl looked, or that actress, he looked a lot like Jennifer Lawrence. Mainly Hunger Games Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay, I can give you that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really good. I thought it was really. I mean, there's not really much to talk about without spoiling on it. So you want to get to the big reveal?
I know. I'm like, I don't want to. I'm trying not to spoil by saying anything.
All right. So if you guys have not seen Alien Romulus yet, this is the end of the non-spoiler part of the review. Definitely go see it if you love sci-fi horror movies in general, or the larger Alien franchise as a whole. So we're now at the spoiler portion of this review, and let's talk about the big reveal at the end. What did you think? Well, you can maybe explain what it was.
Well, I don't even know which one you're talking about.
Oh, the very end, when you think it's almost over.
Yeah, because that's just it. It had a few moments where you think it's over, or you think like the danger is over, and then it's not. And it has another one, and then you think the danger is over, and then it's not. But the one that like totally threw me, where I was like, "Whoa, what is happening?" is when they're put in the cryo chambers, and of course, you know, with the other one, that's like the end because everything's calm. Right. They get in there, and you know, autopilot, gonna go to their new location or whatever.
Right.
This one, go in the cryo. Our main character, she's setting her. She's about to get in, and bam! No, that is not what is gonna end this movie. There's more chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Xenomorph baby.
Yes.
And not a small one, a giant size.
Well, it started small.
Yeah.
It grew really fast, and it's like this mutated or mutation between alien and human.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Fantastic.
That was insane. And there were a lot of like jump scares, including with that creature too. Like because it's classic alien. You gotta get the alien out into space, so it's somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
And so like the main character is like hanging out on a rope or a cable or whatever, and you think she defeated this baby xenomorph creature or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it gets in, and there's a lot like that. Another kind of spoiler thing, it's not Ash from the original, but it's an android that looks like Ash.
Yeah.
And that's not new for Alien, because there's been multiple, this kind of the same looking androids, like with Bishop and David from Prometheus and Alien Covenant. But yeah, I don't know if that was like a digital recreation of Ian Helm, or like someone that just so happened to look like him.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that. I don't know.
Yeah, but it looked exactly like them. It was kind of surreal because he's no longer around with us.
Yeah, and I do like that they continued with the theme of that they're not human. They're synthetic. And their mission is not like what a human's mission would be.
Right, for sure. And then going back to the jump scare, there's a really cool jump scare with that got me. Where like they're kind of exploring like this little room that got like destroyed by the xenomorph or whatever, and then like there's like what you think is a dead android jumps up and grabs like the character.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, and those are the ones that get me is when is like the least obvious, where it happens and there's no build up to it. Those are the ones that always get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the least apparent jump scares. So that was really cool.
And oh my gosh, so many face suckers.
Yes.
So many face suckers.
Oh yeah, well I want to talk about that because the big moment in the second trailer was when the bald hair chick gets one inside of her and like her stomach lights up, and I'm thinking, oh wait, is this gonna be like a new type of face hugger that like lights up? But no, she gets a X-ray like little device and then puts it on behind her. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know where they were going with that because she sees it in the lab and she like tries it on her arm and she's like, oh, this is really cool. So I liked that I didn't really know where they were going to go with that X-ray thing, and they didn't like spoil it too much by like seeing her put it in her bag, knowing it's going to be, used later.
Well, I knew kind of where they're going to go with that.
Well, I'm just saying it wasn't like so super obvious. And then, I loved that part. I loved that they kind of amped up the whole, burst out of the chest thing with like being able to have the X-ray light thing so you could actually see it inside your body. That was really good.
Yeah, and I think it was the perfect balance of the first Alien where you barely see it. Like you don't see really a good amount of the xenomorph. You get a lot of xenomorph action in Aliens, and I was really hoping for like the big moment because the xenomorph is my favorite movie monster of all time, and you get a lot of awesome xenomorph action here when you see it in its full glory.
Yeah, for sure. And just to kind of back up a little bit, I loved that they. I mean, because you know it's going to happen.
Right.
Because the face sucker was on her face. I mean, so you know that it's like inside of her body. So I love that they took a different way to show that. Because that wasn't a spoiler. Like, you knew that was going to happen.
Right, for sure. Also, I guess that implants the xenomorph into people, like, real quick. Because that was like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, they definitely sped that up versus like the original.
Yeah, but we already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so I was cool with that. Like that didn't bother me.
What do you think of the android character? Do you like him?
The what?
The android character, Reyes?
I really liked him.
Yeah.
I liked that it was that they had somewhat of a normal human relationship, being that it was like a brother-sister kind of thing instead of
like a kin set.
Yeah, and instead of it being like more like a, not really a mentor. I don't know what kind of relationship you would call it in previous movies.
Paranoia, because you don't know that Ash was the android in the original. And then when Ripley finds out that Bishop is an android, she starts freaking out. Yeah,
but they have a kinship, like you're talking about kinship. Right. But this, I love that it was even tighter because it was like a brother sister.
Right.
And so they're, going, you suspect because they grew up together or whatever, however, because they didn't really show that, but that it was a long established relationship of brother sister. So you just knew that they were in some way going to protect each other. And so, they were very true to that. Yeah. So I did like that part.
Now, I will say the one thing that I absolutely loved, and one of my favorite things in like sci-fi and like horror, not horror movies, maybe some, but like fantasy movies, is world building. And I love like when the filmmaker or artist can build a world, this with like archaic language or like stuff that that's not in our world. And I love seeing more of what Wayland is kind of about, where you have this character very similar to the Nostromo's crew, that they're very kind of like working class people on this mission, this mining mission, and everything's all rugged. So you see this character in this new one. So you see this, God bless her. She's trying to look for some work that she wants to do, and so she goes up to like this, this employment line, for Wayland. No, not an employment line, but like an assignment. Or like she's trying to get like a contract or whatever. So I like seeing that. I thought that was real interesting.
That's not what was happening.
No, I thought it was.
No, what they had to do was they had to dedicate so much time in the mines, and once you worked so many hours, then you could leave.
Oh.
And they were telling, so she went up and was trying to get her pass to get off of the mining planet. And they told her, sorry, now we're going to up the hours. So now you've got another 5 years.
Okay, so that's very relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah, so that was quite a disappointment because she thought she was going to And that's really kind of how it started.
Okay.
The movie started, or that portion of the movie started, when you were getting to know them and their relationship, is because he, as a synthetic, wasn't allowed to leave, but she was going to try to figure out a way to get him to go with her.
Well, I think I remember in that scene he mentioned something about farming or something like that. Like maybe she wanted to be a farmer after this.
She just wanted to see the sun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she could have been a farmer. I don't know if that's what she wanted
yeah,
to do. But,
and there's just little things that you kind of have to catch.
Yeah.
But I just love like you know, her and his aunt are just walking through like this mining planet or whatever, and like everything's all dirty and got all these working class people. And the one thing that actually really made it like really authentic is when she's walking out of like that restaurant or like cafeteria, and like and I don't know if you caught this, but one guy was calling her. That made it so authentic to like.
How I wasn't even thinking of that.
I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying I thought that was.
I didn't know that's where you were going to go. I thought you were going to talk about the classic "take the bird into the mine," because when they were going to meet their friends and they saw that whole line of miners going into the mine, the lead guy had a bird in a cage. And so, you know, way back in the day, that's how they knew if it was unsafe, as if they always had a bird.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, if the bird dies, then like you got to get out.
That's really cool.
So I thought that was cool because this is set so far in the future.
Right.
Yet they used the bird in the cage.
Right.
To like, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I never knew that about mining.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think that, again, catcalling is gross. I don't like it, but it just made it more authentic. Yeah. But that, now you're on the way home. There was one nitpick you had with the movie. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, and I don't know how they could have done it. So like I'm not and as I said in the car on the way home, I want to preface this by saying I loved the movie. Like I loved every aspect of it. So I don't think there was anything that I would necessarily change. So to try to find something negative, I was being super, super nitpicky, trying to find one little thing that I would possibly change. And that is to establish where they are in the timeline of alien movies. So that you understood where this one fell. Because if you didn't know and you weren't watching it and love it as much as I do, and huge alien guru and love it that much, you wouldn't know. Because they don't really explain that. So I don't know how they could have explained it without taking out a lot of the mystery. But I just feel like there could have been something in there to help you understand where this one fell.
Right, and you essentially see these miners, you know, going to like this, I guess like this wrecked space system or something, and they pick up like this big like rock thing that the xenomorph is on. And then that's when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no talking. Like I said in the beginning of this video, it's like the original Alien. It's very quiet.
Oh, that was like, I love that because it opened with that, where like you see, like, you know, your movie credits, they go, and then when the movie starts, it's just dead quiet.
Right.
And the scene starts. That was classic.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, if you would have told me that entire scene was filmed in the 70s, I would have believed you.
That was really good.
Yeah, even like the space rock coming into the ship, that looked very much like something that was built in the 70s.
Yeah, and even though that quiet moment, I know we're a little bit talking about two different things, but that quiet moment happened a few times.
Right.
Which was fantastic. So when she dropped out and she's on the cable, and she's like hanging out of the cargo bay thing, it like went, same thing, went dead quiet. Yeah, it was really good. They picked the right moments. Yeah. Great story. great effects. Great acting.
Yeah, and that part when they're in that place where they keep all the face huggers were growing or whatever, or being birthed, and then the water kind of came up. That kind of reminded me of Aliens when the xenomorph was coming up behind Newt.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of Newt, I see because there's that pregnant lady that birthed the giant
whatever that dwarf thing was.
When I first saw that, I thought that was gonna be Newt, maybe. Yeah, maybe Newt was gonna be adopted, but that wouldn't have worked because the main character in this movie is experiencing like the xenomorph, and then her parents got attacked by the xenomorph. So like she wouldn't be dumb enough to go to that system that they were trying to call. I don't know. Yeah, but is there anything else you want to say about this movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah, this movie was great. Go see it.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's recommended.
But not in a storm. Like I would suggest, if you have thunderstorms in your area, I would wait until it's over before you go to the movie.
Thunderstorm and lightning, baby's lightning, me, Galileo.
Nope, not doing it anymore.
Galileo Figaro. But yeah, this is a great movie. Man, this is my favorite movie of the year so far. But this movie kind of blew my mind a little bit because I needed a movie to blow my mind.
I would say.
Yeah.
So again, so many, even little surprises, but so many surprises that it definitely kept me at the edge of my seat, on my toes, thinking, because I've seen all the other ones, thinking what's going to happen. And let me tell you, you do not know what is going to happen.
Right. And that's the thing about it is, like, you had movies like Deadpool and Wolverine that came out, which was a ton of fun, and Fall Guy was a lot of fun, and Planet of the Apes was really good, and, Abigail was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun movies. Not really a lot of movies that really, like, stirs your imagination and make you think about things. Yeah. Like this movie. And that's what the best alien movies do. And I think that's what Dan O'Bannon was really tapping into with him and Ridley Scott. They're really tapping into, let's make this really entertaining, scary sci-fi horror movie that just blows all the 50 sci-fi horror movies out of the water. But, like, that make audience think a little, about, these evil corporations and, morality and, like parenthood. Because parenthood, if you think about it, is a huge theme in the alien movies. Because, essentially, with that face hugger, you're being raped, essentially. Like, No,
let's don't go down that track.
But then they're implanting something in you. And then Ripley becomes a mother figure for Newt in the second one. And then the SIP system is called Mother. So it's it was a good movie. I really loved it. But anyways, guys, if you like this episode, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure to follow us at Horror, Sci-Fi, and Beyond at Spotify, Twitter, X, and Facebook. And leave a comment in the comment section below. And never forget, guys, to stay weird.